Hey everyone, so big news today. Diablo 4 has a new patch. It is 1.0.3, and man, looking at this, it is such a relief seeing the things that they did. There is hope, miracles do exist, and the overall picture is buffs everywhere, buffs for everyone, and it's insane. It's nice. It's good to see this. Definitely a step in the right direction. So let's go ahead and get into this. As far as the patch notes, there's bug fixes for dungeons, events, and other activities. I'm not gonna really read into all these too much. I mainly care about the things that got buffed and whatnot. There's gameplay fixes, co-op fixes, quest fixes, UI. So other miscellaneous things seems like language and controller stuff and whatnot. Here's the big stuff right here: gameplay adjustments, experience rewards. So they increase the XP awarded from completing nightmare dungeons, increase experience gained from killing monsters in nightmare dungeons. Helltide chests now provide more bonus experience when opened, increase reward experience from completing individual whispers across the board, and there's apparently an issue where there's no experience awarded from completing the holdout style event that can occur after finishing dungeon objectives. So that got fixed too. So now you will get XP from this. So this right here is amazing. Like just having increased XP, especially in nightmare dungeons. Whenever you think of D4, aside from Helltides and the PvP zones, the other like end game zones, so to speak, or I want to say even like more of the mid to late game, it's nightmare dungeons, and you would think that it would have been increased XP from the beginning. Especially it's kind of sad when people would prefer to run normal dungeons as opposed to nightmare dungeons for XP gain. It just didn't make sense to me, at least in my opinion. So very long overdue, but hey, better late than never. So this is a huge win right here, is the XP increase. So that's good to see. I'm curious to see how much faster leveling would be now, especially those who like to focus on nightmare dungeons for leveling. Another good adjustment is the Helltide roaming bosses will consistently drop higher quality loot. So that's gonna be nice. I don't know how that'll affect uniques. It'd be nice if that kind of helps you have a better chance of getting uniques, but you know don't really know too much of the details with that. But only one way to find out. We can now teleport to the Nightmare Dungeon directly through the map, so that's very nice. That's gonna save a whole bunch of time. So whether if you're just farming glyph XP or general XP or even both, that's gonna completely cut down on the time it takes to gain your XP. Developers note currently working on increasing monster and elite density of in-game content and plan to introduce this change early in season one. This is huge. That would be nice because you're in the in game, you're geared up, and you want mobs to attack you. You want things to kill instead of having a few mobs here, having to move around and go to another section of mobs, and it's just not as satisfying. I really love hordes of enemies and just slaying everything. So this is very nice. I'm very excited for this. And then now there's balance changes. So let's see what there is. So first is the barbarian. All right, skills, lunging strike, buffs, more buffs. So lunging strike is getting buffed, bash is getting buffed, frenzy, flay, double swing, kick, charge, leap, iron skin, call of the ancients, iron maelstrom. I can't pronounce that. Excuse me. Bounding slam and legendary aspects increased. Volcathos increased. So the earthquake got increased, and then dust devils increased. Wind lasher, devilish. Everything is getting increased. Wow. So in regards to the barbarian, it's literally nothing but buffs, which is nice. So whether if it's more damage, increased resource generation, and I believe cooldown reduction too. So that's nice. Very big win right here. I'm very interested in seeing how things are going to change in the game. Now let's see the druid. Those of you who watch my videos, you should know that I love the druid. It is the class I've been playing the most of. And yeah, let's get into this. So Earth Spike, increase, Fortify, increase. Wow, double the increase. That's insane. Wind Shear, increase. Okay. I'm not trying to take too long on this. I want to get the general idea of everything. Shred. So Maul, Lightning Storm, Shred, Wolves, Hurricane, Rabies, Cataclysm, Lacerate, Petrify, Pummel. And then passives, increase, Nature's Fury, increase 20 to 30%, Lupin, Ferocity, damage increase 60 to 70, aspects, damage increase, Mangold, chance increased from 20 to 30 to 30 to 40, that's nice. Seismic Shift, cooldown decreased from 2.5 to 1.5 to 2 to 1 seconds, that's pretty big. Blurred Beast, damage increase. Alright, so similar to the Barbarian, you're either going to get increased damage, increased generation of your resource, and decreased cooldown. So that's really nice. I'm curious to see if that's how it's going to be all across the board for all the classes. Necromancer, Reap, increased damage, cooldown is reduced, decompose, damage is increased, generation is increased. Okay, frequency is instead of 2.5, it's 2. Hemorrhage, increased damage, generates more resource. Bone splinters, increased damage, increased resource generation. Sever, increased damage, more increased damage. Blood lance, overpower requirement reduced from 8 to 6 casts. Wow, that's pretty huge. Bone prison, cooldown reduced from 20 to 18 seconds. Fortify is increased. Okay. Iron Maiden, base damage is increased. More increased. Corpse tendrils. Okay, chance for something to spawn from 30% to 35%. Bone spikes. Damage increase. Wow, that's a big damage increase. Raise skeletons and golem. Now always engage targets with the cast curse. That's pretty cool. That should be very nice for controlling them a little more. Passives, Kalan's Edict. I could be pronouncing that wrong. My apologies. Duration requirement reduced from 3 to 2. Rothma's Vigor. Requirement reduced from 15 to 12. Spiked Armor. Thorns increased. Okay. Legendary Aspects. Damage increase. Flesh Rending. Essence gained. Wow, that's double the essence gained. That's pretty good. Fast Blood. Ultimate cooldown increased from 0.5 to 1 to 1 to 1.5. Wow. Yeah, so similar to the other classes, you're either going to get increased damage, increased resource generation, less less time to wait for your cooldowns to be up, so cooldown reduction, so to speak. And what about Rogue? I don't know why it keeps dropping me down. Alright, so for Rogue, the skills, Invigorating Strike, increased damage, Blade Shift, increased damage, Heartseeker, increased damage, Forceful Arrow, base damage increased, Barrage, damage increased, Caltrops, from 20 to 25%, Smoke Grenade, cooldown, it's reduced by 2 seconds, it's nice. Rain of Arrows cooldown reduced from 60 to 55 seconds. I'm curious to see how that's going to work, because I know a lot of people are talking about they like the Rain of Arrows, but with the long cooldown and, other things could be a little lackluster. And now the potency is increased as well by 10%. So I wonder if people are going to start utilizing Rain of Arrows a little more. Then Volley, base damage increased. Wow, that's quite a bit of an increase. Passives, Close Quarters Combat, damage increase. Legendary Aspects, Escape Artist, cooldown from 100 to 45 seconds. That's pretty big cooldown. This can be nice. Lucky hit chance from Dark Shroud 30 to 50 is now 40 to 60. That's a pretty huge increase. Items, Eyes in the Dark, increased Death Trap cooldown. It's reduced 30 to 15% to 20 to 15%. Oh, so that's a better range. And now finally the Sorcerer. See, Spark, base damage is increased. Increased damage again. Frostbolt, damage is increased. Firebolt, the burning damage is increased. Charge Bolt, base damage is increased. Incinerate, increased damage, more increase. The mobilize requirement is, instead of 4, it's 3 seconds. That's pretty nice. Mana cost reduced from Fireball from 40 to 35. Oh, that's going to be interesting to see. I don't think very many people run Fireball. Frozen Orb, alright, increased damage. Explosion base damage is increased as well. Chance to apply vulnerable is increased by 5%. That's actually pretty huge. I know there's quite a bit of good frozen builds out there. Oh, Blizzard base damage increase from 120 to 130. That's gonna be huge because I've been hearing about a Blizzard build popping up being pretty strong, so that's gonna be even better. Ice Blades to chance to apply vulnerables increase from 30 to 40. Lightning Spear increases the damage raw, 60% increase. Crackling Energy, base damage is increased as well. Freezing Wake, base damage is increased. Legendary Aspects, chance to chain is increased by 10%. Slow amount is Singed Extremities slow amount increased from 25 to 35 to 40 to 60. Wow, that's quite a big increase. Incendiary chance to restore mana is increased from 5 to 10% to 12 to 17%. Snow Guards damage reduction is so you get more damage reduction. That's pretty nice. Concentration mana regeneration is increased, so instead of 10 to 20, it's 20 to 30. Items, Flame Scar, flat damage increase, Staff of Lam Esen. Again, I could be pronouncing that wrong, my apologies. And then damage reduction reduced from 40 to 30 to 35 to 25%. So this is pretty huge. It's literally nothing but buffs. I haven't seen any nerfs. This is a first, and I am here for it. So yeah, overview is XP buff from Nightmare Dungeons, better loot chances from Helltides, and overall extra XP from doing the Whisper quest. You have the more chance of that roaming boss during the Helltides, and all the classes got pretty much buffed. You know, like I said earlier, either increased damage, increased generations of your resource. So whether if it's like Spirit, Fury, mana, etc., as well as some cooldown reduction. So meaning skills that are pretty much have less cooldown now, so you can use them a little more frequently. So, and chances damage reduction has been increased as well. So a lot of builds gonna be a little more tankier. So it's pretty nice to see. I'm overall pleased with this. Again, I wish I would have seen this, earlier in the game, especially when the game first released. As far as the whole, I just personally think it's ridiculous how for people to really XP grind, choosing the normal dungeon spamming is better than a nightmare dungeon. I just thought it, common sense would tell me that nightmare dungeons should give more XP and whatnot. But again, at least it's done now, so I'm happy with that. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. If you're excited for these changes as far as the XP or even your class related, are these changes going to make you want to try another class, or are you going to stick with your class? What are your thoughts? But yeah, if you found this video helpful at all, please like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.